Oh shit, okay. Making the video right now. Okay. Welcome everybody to Cassian's Realm Sagas Card Reviews Part 6. Alright, let's go. So we have Cassian's Realm Sagas, Mass Packs. So this is the first Mass Pack. And let's just go over all of the things that we have made, or all the packs and decks and different packs we've made for Cassian's Realm Sagas. So, let's just start. So, Mass Packs is the first one. It's the biggest pack that we've ever made. Second biggest is decks, which are 60 cards. And then we have Pro Packs, which are 40 cards. And then we have Influencer Packs, which are 22 cards. And then we have Powerity Packs, which are 16 cards. And then we have Power Packs, which are 10 cards. And then we have Rarity Packs, which are about 8 cards. And then we have Equipment Packs, which are about 6 cards. More or less on all of that, just to let you know. All of them are, or a lot of them are different because I didn't really know what I was doing at first with Cassian's Realm Saga, so I just was kind of making up random, just ideas and stuff. And yeah. So that's why it's always all different. So it's like 38 cards on some of the Pro Packs. It's, 60 cards on all the decks, actually. Every single deck I've made is 60 cards and 60 cards. Influencer packs have been 15 cards to 22 cards is the least and the max I've ever made. Next, okay. So Mass Packs, the first Mass Pack. This is the first one we've ever made. It was Sagas of the Realms, 1518. We've done a review, all of the stuff on it. Showed you all the cards and everything. Explained them to you and blah, 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 blah. Anyways, we do plan in 2025 to most likely do a Sagas of the Realms 2, or a Mass Pack 2, I should say. It's probably going to be called Cassiana Legends of the Realms. Mass Packs, it'll probably be 100, it's definitely going to be 120 cards. No more, no less. And, it's just probably going to be a review of, like, all of the legendary creatures of my game, and Titans, and etc. It's been pretty cool. 120 different remakes of legendary creatures. So, that'll be fun. Moving on, we have decks. So we have 20 in total, and here's 14 of them. Lord Grizzot's Dark Deck 2022, Golden Truth versus Black Magic 2022, Black Magic versus Golden Truth 2022. So that's the very first battle decks I've ever made, and that was them. Golden Truth versus Black Magic. Next we have the Angel's Glow deck. This deck was like, it was fun to make. I made it like over a period of time, I remember it took me like 2 months to make. So as long as a Mass Pack does now for me, which was 2 months. Which is crazy. I've worked on decks for like 4 months before, I remember. I can't name which one it was, but I remember I did that once or twice. So that's Angel's Glow deck. Okay, so number 5 is Dark Dungeons to Sky Havens 2022. From the Forge to the Hordes 2023. Wizards and Crystals 2023. Queen Rhoda, the Warden of Souls 2023. Endless Resurrection deck 2023. Trees Mother Earth's Infantry 2023. Traders and Rogues 2023. Mist and Weirds 2023. Natarexla's Warhorde versus Lamia Merfolk Command 2024 and 2024. Okay, so I messed up saying Natarexla's Warhorde versus Blame me on Marvel Command for some reason. It's like that's not how I sounded for a second. Okay, so we did the 4 elementals decks here. So there's 3 of them here. Dark Dungeons to, no, From the Forge to the Hordes is an elemental fire deck. Trees, Mother Earth's Infantry is a earth deck, and Mist and Weirds is a water deck. And then Lord Grisot's Dark deck was the very first deck I ever made. So it's on like super scrappy old like book paper. It's pretty bad. Ripped and shit. But it's all good. I'm still keeping the cards. Back from like 2021. Like 2022, I mean, sorry. And then Endless Resurrection deck was very fun to make. Probably the most powerful deck I've ever made. You can't lose with that deck. It just, you can summon, you lose an entire hand of creatures, you can summon an entire hand of creatures. Like, there's no losing with that deck, I swear. Next, we have the last of the decks here, Artificers of the Power Stones. That got made mostly in the car on the way to Tucson and in Tucson. So it didn't get really made in New Mexico that much. Okay, maybe like Lordsburg and whatever else that you pass on the way. But not anywhere else. Except in Tucson, the city of Tucson. Which is awesome. I remember I made like half the cards on the way there and half the cards half the cards in Tucson. I made like 30 cards over like a 4-hour period or whatever, 3.5-hour period to Tucson, whatever it took to get there. I think it was like 4 hours. And yeah, it was good. Good for sure. It was just kind of a marathon in a really cramped space, so I was just like working like crazy hard listening to my rap music. It was kind of like a power jam to get the deck done. And I did. In like 3 days, I got the deck done. It was crazy. Skate Gods, I got that deck done in literally 3 days as well. Like literally 2.5 days, I got that deck made. I made that entire deck. Skate Gods was crazy. I was really into skateboarding at the time. So I just made a crazy fast deck in like 30 seconds. No, like 3 days. 2.5 days to be exact. But that is a really short span of time. Usually it takes me like a month to finish a deck on average. Torcanes, that's the last elemental deck. It's air. It's an entire storm realm, basically. Natarexia 2, Famalia's Re-Rise. That deck was pretty fun to make. It's basically about the entire shift of Natarexia now after the Natarexless War. Everything changed. And then there's Karzov Warclux. That deck is recently finished. I think I finished it like a few days ago, to be honest. Like a week ago. That deck was fun to make. Loved it. Took a minute to make. I think it took like 4 weeks to make. 4.5. But it was fun. Okay, that's all the decks we have currently. Probably change after a few months. Okay, Pro Packs. Here's all of them. So we have 10 of them. Spells on Spells 2022, Goblin Gorge 2022, Giant's Force 2022, Ellengar Elvish Fury 2023, Kazos Unleash Isaac's Kingdom 2024, Shadow Fist 2024, Red Storm vs. Bloodhand 2024, The Red Feud is what it's called, Mirius Myths of Moonrise 2024, and then Tree Crew X Earth Crew Oglon Clans 2024. Okay, Spells on Spells, recap. This deck, a pack was fun. It's 40 spells. It's all spells. And then, not much to say on that other than it was fun to make, and I made a bunch of spells, and I wish I could make that many spells now, but I don't have that many ideas for spells very much anymore. It takes me a minute to come up with a spell, to be honest. And then Goblin Gorge, okay, that's all about goblins, the gorges they make and live in, pretty much. And then Ellengar Elvish Fury is the first pack I ever made about Ellengar, Greenheart, Greencore, all all of the hearts, all of that stuff. That's basically the first. It's the Elvish Fury part of the elves of Ellengar. And then Kazos Unleash Isaac's Kingdom. So this is just basically a war pack about Isaac, the king of Kazos and his armies and the orcs and everything. Shadow Fist, that's about the Ulkran, kind of like a ninja race. And yeah, just 40 cards about kicking people's asses with shadows. Red Storm versus Bloodhand. Some of the best art I've ever made besides the Natarexus War Saga. Man, that was just amazing art. Just loved it. Loved making all of that. Those two pro packs, which is 80 cards, went by like it was nothing in a few weeks. It was just so much fun. I was making like, God, I actually think I made like 30 cards a day for like a few days and it was done. I don't know why I said a few weeks. And then Mirius, Myths of Moonrise, and Tree Crew X Earth Crew, Algon Clans. Made them pretty much around the same time. Mirius is about the witches of Moonrise, Mirthcur, and Sevender, and all of that. And then Tree Crew X Earth Crew is about the Argos clans of Oglon and the whole Argos thing. As you know, we made or I haven't actually told you, but you'll see it. We made another influencer pack called Argos Fairy Elfkin, and that's just kind of a recap of that influencer pack, except this one's a pro pack, and it sounds way cooler, and it's way cooler. You got Moldgath and Moldgath and Timith, who are the elf leaders of Tree Crew X Earth Crew, and Moldgath is the leader of Earth Crew, and Timith is the leader of Tree Crew. Just really fun. I love it all. Next. Okay, influencer packs. We have like 36, 35 influencer packs to recap over. So, here we go. Kings and Commanders 2022, the very first influencer pack I ever made. Lots of fun, very cool. Just Kings and Commanders. And then second, Varon Viper, which is about the Craston Kingdom and the King of Varon Viper. Lamia, Dense Jungles to Breezy Beaches. So kind of there's another pack, that influencer pack, that goes with that. But basically, Lamia, Dense Jungles to Breezy Beaches is a pack about the jungles of Lamia before it got conquered by the Natarexus. And yeah, Falaji Ambush is about the Falaji, which is kind of a desert tribe I made for Zalka. They're kind of like a air people, though. Like, kind of like a Gari kind of thing from Torricanes. Okay, and then the Frosty Mountains, which is about the Frosty Mountains, Mount Zatnire, and other stuff. Wildlings and Savages is a influencer pack that is supposed to go with the Traders and Rogues deck. Rhinokin Rage is about the Rhinokin and their uncontrollable rage. Blaze of Kazos is basically about Kazos, and influencer pack to go with Isaac's Kingdom Unleashed, or Unleash Isaac's Kingdom, sorry, pro pack. Argos Fairy Elfkin is to go with Tree Crew X Earth Crew Argon Clans. Durakur is its own demon realm. One influencer pack about that. We're going to do a rarity pack someday called Claws of Turlesh. Shirette Sea Command, that is the very first pack we ever made about the Valtrar. See more about them later, a lot more. Okay, 13, Natarexus, Battles of the Kren, 2024. here, this was all 2023 here. I did one in 2022, and all this was in 2023. Anyways, moving on to 2024, Natarexus, Battles of the Kren. So this is the very first pack I ever made about the battles against the Kren, which is one of the elf tribes in Lamia. And it was the first battle against it, basically. And then there was Kren Dominion, which was basically about the Kren living in Lamia. And then there's Blood Moon, which is a influencer pack about the Ejectelect and Nathi Blood Moon Saga. And then you have Deldretch, Birth Realm of Decay. This one was about Deldretch. And then there's Deldretch, Walkers of the Dark, which is also about Deldretch. And then there's Fear the Black Fang, which is about Blood Moon Saga and the Nathi and the Black Fang specifically. And then next, we have the Gel Pal, which is about the weird realm of Warb, which is kind of about jelly globs and demonish jelly aliens and all sorts of stuff. And then there's Ralphar Red Hand, Fist of Flygrap. So that's the very first look at Ralphar Red Hand, who is actually the enemy of Cassian in the Red Feud saga. So he was the one you saw, Red Storm and Bloodhand. He was Bloodhand, and Cassian was Red Storm, and that's their packs. They feud each other, basically, because they were old childhood friends, and there's a whole story that has gone over inside that saga and everything. We'll have to show you one day. And then Ralphar Red Hand is basically the Fist of Flygraph, and that's about him being the leader of Flygraph. We did a quick draw short on YouTube that was about Ralphar, and it was King of Flygraph, and it was for Kings and Commanders too. And that was basically a card about him being the King of Flygraph, and here he's the Fist of Flygraph. So yeah, I remember doing a short about that. You have to watch it. And then Avali Retreat is about the Natarexus War Saga. It's about the retreat of the Avali tribe. And then there's a Chronos Hold, which is about the hold of Chrono on Natarexus. The hold of Chrono on Lamia in the Natarexus War Saga. And then there's Leaf Flux, which is about the Morium powers and Leaf Flux of Greenheart, basically. And then there's Targer Callers, which is about the Targer elf tribe of Lamia getting taken over by the Natarexus in Natarexus War Saga. And then there's Natarexus Breakers of the Targer, and that's basically about the Natarexus killing all of the Targer in the Natarexus War Saga. And then there's the Krenian Stand, which is about the Kren standing for the last time in the Natarexus War Saga against the Natarexus. And then here's Natarexus Eclipse of the Kren, which was really cool. It's about the eclipse of the Kren and Natarexus just butchering all the Kren. Now, I gotta tell you a story about this. So, the Krenian Stand and Natarexus Eclipse of the Kren, I gotta tell you something about this. So, I made this on the eclipse, believe it or not, of 2024. The eclipse of 2024. I specifically waited to make these packs until the days leading up and on the day of the eclipse. So about a day, I think 2 days before I started the pack, and then on the third day I kind of finished the pack on the eclipse. So yeah, it was really cool. So those two packs got made at that time, number 26 and number 27. Next, we have the Sanaro, which is kind of the very first pack ever about the Sanaro secret merfolk tribe of Murgle. Okay, so gotta tell you something about the Sanaro. The Sanaro is in merfolk tribe that actually we made way back when we were 14. We came up with this idea, and finally in 2024 we made a pack, the very first pack ever about it. Now, we've made a bunch of singles about the Santa Row, never actually made any pack or incorporated them into any sort of pack or deck until now. So that was kind of a big deal. And then Tefri Tykes, Sky Pirate and Smuggler at your service. This was a fun one. This is about Tefri Tykes. He is the Sky Pirate and Smuggler between Valtrar and Torricanes. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I made that right after I made Torricanes because I knew I wanted to do a link between Valtrar and Torricanes, and I figured he should be the middleman. Tefri Tykes. Why not do the pack as the middleman between Valtrar and Torricanes? I thought it'd be fun. Next, we have Lamian Lorian, which is about a certain hidden jewel that I will not name, just for the secrecy fun of it. But it's basically about this jewel of Lamia that is kind of missing, and yeah, that's all I'll say about Lamian Lorian. But that's a fun influencer pack. So, whew, I can't believe we're still doing these. No, I'm still good. So here we have Valtrar Dynasty 1, Shi's Junctions Alliance. And then here we have Valtrar Dynasty 2, Storms of Torricanes. And then we have Valtrar Dynasty 3, Valtraria Immortalia. And then we have Valtrar Dynasty 4, Palaces of Vaidvar. Okay, so let's go over this. So this is a 4-part influencer pack series about Valtrar, and it's called the Valtrar Dynasty. And the first one is about Shi's Junctions Alliance. The second one is about Storms with Torricanes, which is about working with Tefri Tykes and Valtrar working with Tefri Tykes and who's working with Torricanes, and the smuggling that goes on and shady bits that goes on over there. So that's what Storms with Torricanes about. And Shi's Junctions Alliance is about the junctions and alliance between Torricanes and Valtrar that kind of protects a certain part of a sea between their two realms that kind of collide together. It's a whole thing I'll have to tell you about one day. But anyways, I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother hour. Next, we have Valtrar Dynasty 3, Valtraria Immortalia. So this is about just the powers and Immortalia and influence of Valtrar and Valtraria, the realm itself. Next, we have Valtrar Dynasty, Palaces of Vaidvar. So this is about the extraordinary, what do you call it? Just extraordinary architect, that's the word, architect of Valtrar and the Palaces of Vaidvar, which is the capital of Valtraria. And also, Vaidvar is also the son of Verces, the first son of Verces, who is the brother of the king of Valtrar. But anyways, that's the whole family bit. We'll get into that in a minute. In a minute, sorry. Not into a minute, in a minute. Next, we have Kings and Commanders 2, which is kind of a big deal. I didn't know I was going to make this until all of a sudden one afternoon. I just made it. We've been making a lot of cards and quick drawings for it on YouTube for the cards for this. And also Unspeakable Spells Part 3, Heart of Greencore, which is a rarity pack. But anyways, moving on. Powerity packs. Okay, we have 6 powerity packs. So we have the Karzov Tech Council, which is all about the Karzov Tech Council, which we go over in Karzov Warclux, but this is the first pack we ever made about the Karzov. And the first powerity pack we ever made, period. And then 2, we have Asher, Elengarian Dasher, Cassian, Red Creation, and Marvelo Behind the Mask. So these 3 powerity packs are for the 3 champions of the Natarexus War Saga who defeat Akronos. And those 3 packs have some of the best art of my entire game and the best art in the entire Natarexus War Saga, which expands quite a bit. And next we have Void of Ultron Zov, which we've showed you a bit in the Titans influence / power or whatever video. Void of Ultronzov is about the Karzov and the Void of Ultronzov and the Vorklux and everything. So yeah, that was a priority. That's a very recent priority pack, and this one's even more recent. Asher, Ellengar, Ergos, Greenheart. So this is about Asher, Ellengar, Ergos, and the powers of Greenheart that link all three of them together. And Asher is an Ellengarian, and so he shares a lot of blood with Ellengarians, but Asher also holds a lot of powers above other things. And then because of Greenheart, and then Ergos is tied with Ellengar, so it ties all three of them together. So with Greenheart, so Asher, Ellengar, Ergos, Greenheart. Kind of makes sense once you understand. Okay, power packs. Just power packs. I was gonna say power already. Power packs. Okay. Whew. This is a marathon. Let's keep going. I gotta tell you a lot. I didn't realize this video is going to be quite this big until I made it, and I'm like, oh shit, but that's okay. So we have the Herkamoths. So the Herkamoths are the king dragon species of all the dragons in all of the realms in Cassian's Realm Sagas. And that's all I have to tell you about them. They're the first power pack I ever made. They have a lot of really cool concept art, some really fine work, to be honest. And then, not to brag or anything, and then let's see, anything else about the Herkamoths? King species, dragons, huge. I got the idea from How to Train Your Dragon 2, the giant ice dragons. I figured why not do something like that called the Herkamoths, and I did. So that's where I got the idea from. Electroblast, okay. So I did a card way back when I was 14 in 2021 called, what was it called? Shit, what was it called? Yes, it was called Electroblast Elf. And I decided after that card to do a power pack called Electroblast. And that's it. Made that in 2023. So last year. And then Kitai Zuluai. That's about Kitai and the Zuluai, which is an African American tribe from Zalka that are extremely good with spears. And yeah, I got the idea from the Zulu tribe of the African American. Sue me, I was young when that Zuluai was a very young idea. I came up with that idea when I was 14, so a long time ago too. But who cares? Not hurting anyone. Next, Valchar Empire 1, the Might, Valchar Empire 2, the Wealth, Valchar Empire 3, the Cunning, all 2023. Okay, so a 3-part series power pack, all about Valchar. So it's the might, the wealth, and the cunning of the Empire of Valchar, which is the biggest empire in my game. The entire biggest empire ever. So they're pretty special. And then Tip of the Trident, that goes with, or that can go with the Natarexus War Saga, but it doesn't necessarily have to either. It's just kind of a merfolk pack called Tip of the Trident. And then there's Blood Fangs, which is a power pack that goes with the Blood Moon Saga and the Blood Moon Influencer pack and all of that. And then there's Kazos Beast of War, which goes with the Kazos Saga and everything. And then there's Geode Overload, which goes with the Artificers of the Power Stones deck and everything. And there's Natarexus Dangerous Oils. That's just an Natarexus pack, just random. And then there's the Carcass Throne, which is a power pack that goes with the Deldritch Saga. And then there's the Frosty Mountain Wilds that goes with the Frosty Mountains Influencer pack that we showed you earlier. Next, we have Falaji Wing Command, which goes with the Falaji Saga thing that we made. There's a couple of packs to go with that Falaji stuff. And then there's Natarexus Breaking Tridents, which goes with the Natarexus War Saga. And then there's Natarexus Lamian Recreation. And then there's Ending of Lamia. All three of those go with the Natarexus War Saga. Greenheart goes with the Greenheart Saga and all of the Greenheart stuff, so Leaf Flux and all that. And then there's Skarls and Axlers, which is kind of just a power pack about cards that probably go with traders and rogues and stuff like that. And then there's Vows of the Champions and Warlord's Roar. And then there's Shattered Grasps and Ending of Recreation. All four of those, 24, 25, and 21 and 22 rarity power packs. All of those go with the Natarexus War Saga. And then in between that, there's the Obai Jayat, which is the first look at Tavananon and all the whole realm of that and everything. And then there's Elswavon Swing, which is to go with the Sanaro and whole Murgle theme. Next, there's New Natarexlians. That's actually to go with the Natarexlia 2 Famalia's Re-Rise. Those are just creatures of hers. And then there's Moonlight Greylight, which goes with, or it's a power pack that goes with the Mirius Mists of Moonrise Pro Pack. And then there's Blue of Jai, and that's to go with the Obai Jayat power pack. So another power pack for that. And then there's Mystical Elder Dragons and Rarity Packs. And moving on, here's Rarity Packs. Here's the first one. Mystical Elder Dragons. So that's the first time I ever made Drahara, the crashed alien dragon of Zalka. That was the first time I ever made that, was in Mystical Elder Dragons, which is the first Rarity Pack I ever made. And then after that, we did the Ulkran Legends, which was the first Ulkran pack we ever made. And then after that, we made Shadow Fist, like a year later, I think, right? It was 2024, I think. And then, anyways, Unspeakable Spells. So that was the first Unspeakable Spells we ever made back in 2023, and I knew I wanted to do a bunch more, and this year I did a bunch more. Still working on a bunch more. Next we have Morian, Words of Power. That's a rarity pack that is a bunch of spells that goes with the Ergoth / Ellengar Greenheart Leaf Flux theme. Shamans of Lamia, that's just a pack of shamans from Lamia, and just Lamia shamans and stuff. And next we have a 3-part series, a rarity pack that goes with the Valchar series, and it's called the Throne 1, Keys to an Empire, the Throne 2, Seats of Power, the Throne 3, and Golden Family. All of those go with the Valchar series, saga, and everything. And then there's Natarexus Warpath, and that's a rarity pack that goes with the Natarexus War Saga. And then there's Edge Ekdalek, and that's a rarity pack that goes with the Blood Moon Nathi Saga. And next we have Deep Delve, which goes with the Deldretch pack, Deldretch series and everything, saga. And then there's the Artificer Sires, which is another pack that goes with the Artificers of the Power Stones deck. And there's Falaji Whirling Strike, which goes with, obviously, with the Falaji series. And then there's Kishat Distraught, which is a rarity pack that goes with the Natarexus War Saga, once again. The Natarexlia 5, that's just a rarity pack that goes with the Natarexlia deck, about the Natarexus Children Titans, before Thamalia even arrives or gets recreated. And then there's Empire Realms, and that's just a pack about powerful realms of my realms, basically. They're the Empire Realms of my realms. And then there's Lol Mages of Murgle, which is another pack about Murgle, and it's basically the powerful ocean mages of Murgle. And I thought it was that pack I came up with the idea like 8 months before I even made the pack. But I always held on to it. I had this scrap of cardboard paper or something like that. Cardboard, more like. And I had written it down on that. And I always kept that piece of cardboard because I knew I was going to make it one day. And I did. Just gotta wait till the right timing sometimes. And then the Natarexlian 6 Remastered. So that's a remake rarity pack of the Natarexlia 5. And that rarity pack goes with the Natarexlia 2 Famalia Re-Rise deck. So that's what the Natarexlian 6 is. It's basically all 5 of her children and Noor Lessie herself. Jix and Jinx, that's a spell rarity pack. Probably make more of those one day too. And then there's Earth Moldgath and Tree Timite. Those are rarity packs to accompany Tree Crew X Earth Crew. Next there's Moonrise, which is a rarity pack to go with Mirius, Myths of Moonrise. And then there's the Energized 8, and that's a rarity pack to accompany Karzov Vorklux. And then there's Unspeakable Spells Part 2, Unspeakable Spells Part 3, Unspeakable Spells Part 4, and that's all 2024, and it's Unspeakable Spells, no, Part 2, and then there's Part 3, Heart of Green Core, Part 4, Search for Darkness, and then there's a Part 5, which is Seek for Enlightenment. And that's all the rarity packs I have currently. And that's a lot of... Part 5, that's wild. Anyways, I haven't finished those yet, so I'm not going to talk too much about those until I post videos about them. But anyways, equipment packs. Elemental Wands. That's all 4 elemental wands in one pack. And then there's Magical Guns, which is all about magical guns, basically, across the realms. And then there's Natarexlis War Machines, which goes with the Natarexlis War Saga. And then there's Elengarian Rings, which goes with Elengar. Oh, I missed Merfolk Armory. Merfolk Armory goes with Natarexlis War Saga as well. But Elengarian Rings, number 5, goes with Elengar Elvish Fury Power Pack. And then there's Jakers, Karzovian Tech Guns. That goes with the Karzov. Probably the Powerity pack I made. Karzov Tech Council, that's what that goes with. And then there's Agari Artillery and Agari Armory, and that both goes with Torricanes. And then there's Junctions Destructors. That goes with the Valtrar Dynasty 4-part Influencer series. And then there's the Zychernov Knickknacks. That goes with the Karzov Vorklux deck. And then there's Magical Guns Part 2, Electro Sparko. And that just is to accompany Magical Guns, basically. I think we covered almost everything. One last thing here. So, the Sliver series. A Rest of Life series of pencil card drawings, non-playable cards by CassiansRealmSagas, Cassian Magic's company property. 2024 x 39 Sliver Slips, which is how many drawings I have. 39. And they're called Sliver Slips. But anyways, that's everything to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That was way too long, but I hope I talked everything through and you understood. And I know I messed up my words a few times, but sue me. Alright, have a good rest of your day. God damn it.